Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Your home for all content, Lord of the Rings home. Have a data update for you today, a content update that basically puts Bomber into the game, but it also includes some other stuff that I want to go over. We're kind of going to discuss a little bit about what's going on around this update, chapter 3 fixes, compensation, that sort of stuff. So let's get into it. I'm going to skip what I consider to be, it's information we already know. Bomber's coming, Bilbo's coming here, the times. We've already talked about that with the kit reveal. Interestingly, they're already moving. I guess it's to be expected. Black Beast, Rhaeka, and Charu all at once are being moved into the premium supply stores. And Lord Balin is finally becoming farmable. I think it's a little bit early, actually, but this is a very, very welcome change. He's on light campaign hard 2-7. So if I just quickly go look at that. He's obviously somebody I think you should farm because of how good he is in Chapter 4. He's just a great, great character. Oh, and it's got Chalk on the node too, so that's a pretty easy yes. You should be farming that. That's great. That's very early on too. I'm a big fan of that. That is an easy node to get to, and I'm going to recommend that people start farming that right away. Basically, great. I'm glad he didn't get put in the challenge store, which is actually my biggest concern there, because we still haven't seen an update to the challenge store, right? They've got the January monthly calendar in here as well. It's going to be Grimlers and Uzon. I think this is just to continue to go with Black Beast, maybe? I don't know. Grimlers is just not good. And Uzon is also, I think he has some potential, but I think he's too slow. I'm not sure. I don't see people use him that much. I just don't think he's that good either. On paper, he looks like he could be good, but I don't think it plays out in game, basically. However, outside of the January monthly calendar, we will also be getting a holiday season calendar. So that starts the 18th, ends the 26th, and it will have Gandalf the Grey Shard, gems, gold, character XP, luminous crystals, shadow crystals, ability materials. That's incredible. Giving out Gandalf the Grey Shards is massive. I think I know I will be unlocking him before the end of the year now. I'm going to live stream the whole thing, and then we'll do a little bit of a video over how good he is in the raids, even at 5 stars. Talk a little bit about that, go through each chapter. But Gandalf shards in there is incredible. I think this will just, get people a little bit closer. I'm hoping a lot of people by the end of Q1 in 2024 basically have him unlocked or have really started to get him up and running. But wait, there's more. There is more. There's also a New Year's calendar that runs from the 16th to the 2nd. So right after... Oh, wait, they're actually coincident. So holiday season calendar 18th to 26th and New Year's calendar 16th to the 2nd. Interesting. Okay. This will be gems, gold, luminous crystals 2 and 3, so both blue and purple. Shadow crystals 2 and 3, again, same thing, blue and purple. And ability materials. If there are epic ability materials and if there's a good sizable quantity of purple ability materials, this will be a really, really great calendar. They obviously don't tell us here exactly what's in the calendar in terms of specifics, but if it has either of those things, that will be incredible. I really like that they're giving us gems and gold and character XP. All of it is good stuff. I will take free stuff, to be honest with you. And I'm glad that they're doing a little bit of a holiday thing. I think that's very nice. Here is something that I want to get into and talk a little bit more about. This is the compensation package that spans the chapter 3 being broken last week, importantly last week, okay? People not being able to claim the calendar reward for the end of November, and then people not being able to finish their daily objectives, like when you were, if you did the bonus chest, it didn't count towards the daily objective, so you just couldn't finish your daily objective. So this is what the compensation package looks like. We can just look at it in game because I think it'll be easier to just understand what's in it there. So my understanding is that basically this upper part here is essentially what you would get in box 5 of the raid. 15 Gandalf shards, but also 90 scrolls. 90 of these scrolls is really, really good. The enchantment scrolls here, these are fine. But if you're trying to get things up to level, glyph level 8, this is where you need so many of these, right? The 15 Gandalf shards, 300k, 50k character XP, and the raid tokens there are good. And then the 100 gems, I think, is for not being able to claim the last day of the calendar. And then, yeah, my guess is 5 Feely shards for the daily objective thing. So this does not cover the fact that people have maybe had to do 2 chapter 3s, a second chapter 3 that is also bugged. This is just compensation for that first chapter 3 that is bugged. If you aren't aware, basically they did a push. They were trying to do a sort of hot fix for this issue. It got held up on the Google side of things on Tuesday, I believe, but they were able to push through the iOS one. So there's some weird stuff going on because they're able to do a data push where we now have Bomber in the game, Bomber and Bilbo's event, right? They should be in the game, I think. You can check. But they were able to put them in the game, right? But they were not able to get this hot fix through. And so I think people are... Yeah, so there's Bilbo, who looks like Elrond from Rings of Power, and then here's Bomber. Okay, cool. Able to push these guys in with the data push, but can't do the hot fix at the moment, and that's something on the Google side of things, because the hot fix is able to go out to iOS. So I think there's a lot of people who are like, well, Android must be getting some sort of compensation as well. I don't know how they're going to do that. For instance, my guild had 2 chapter 3s, regardless of whether you were Android or iPhone, that were basically affected. I'm not sure what they're going to do here. They're probably not going to either decide or not decide, or how much they're going to give. All of those decisions, I think, come after they probably fix what's going on. And so I don't have any more information on that. I just know, I can just tell you that I think this is basically for last week's chapter 3 raids being bugged and some other make good stuff. And then now there might be a new package in the future. There might not. I don't know. It's really going to depend. That's what I wanted to talk about in terms of compensation. They did fix a few things. Some leaderboard stuff with the raid. They did put in here, resolved an issue where capture was incorrectly being applied to a unit affected by this one in Raids Chapter 3. And that fixed an issue where capture was not functioning correctly with Elrond's leader ability, Lord of Rivendell, in Raids Chapter 3. Oh, no. Okay, so this might be a serious change to people's scores, actually. So basically what was happening, the way you could get 900k easily with Rivendell in, not easily, but with Rivendell in Chapter 3 was essentially that you could extend immunity because it basically didn't count capture stacks as Banes. So as long as you got rid of the marked, you could extend the immunity through Elrond's leadership, and then that would allow you to kind of take multiple turns without immunity. It doesn't look like you're going to be able to do that now. That's how I'm reading this anyway. So there's going to have to be some new strategies. I know people are probably going to be upset about that. We'll see. It did take them a long time to finish it. This basically has been around since the start of the raid. It is a player helping bug that has been around since the start of the raid, I should say. There's some other stuff in there, but that's probably the big one that I want to talk about, is that this might really affect Rivendell in Chapter 3. We'll see. I don't think we should see what Chapter 3 is all about until it's actually completely fixed. I know Bloodlust is turning out to be actually a really good option in there. I put it on both my Dol Guldur squad and on my Rohan squad with Ironhide in there. I put it on Aemir, and Ironhide did work. And I put it on all of my basically Dol Guldur squad, and then with Brute in there maybe, and T-Beb, and that also worked really, really well. I mean, Black Beast ends up just destroying everybody. Happy with the compensation packages. Hoping that they get this Chapter 3 stuff resolved. It's apparently out of their hands, and it's more in the hands of, kind of what's happening in Google, on the Google side of things. Happy about the calendars, and I'm happy that Lord Balin is in a farmable place. Things I'm still hoping to see before the end of the year. An update to the challenge store currency situation. That was a band-aid. We need a fix. And hopefully some new campaigns in the form of, both guild campaigns and new light and shadow campaigns, so that maybe we can work on either easing up the purple bottleneck, or, I think having to make a choice and choosing to ease up the purple bottleneck, but also giving free-to-play players access to the epic green ability materials that you need for leadership stuff, for skills. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I think I'm relatively okay with this, but sort of in a holding pattern. There is some good stuff in here, I gotta say. But this issue here that's been fixed with the capture stacks actually does very much concern me, and we will see how that plays out in the near future here. But that's all from me. Thanks for watching. Take it easy.